Thank you, Jeff. Really, really appreciate everyone coming here today and taking some time this afternoon. Obviously, a very, very special day for Clemson baseball. Those of you that are here in person and virtually on the Zoom. I see current players. I see some former players out around. I see support staff. I see other coaches. I see Coach John Rittman here, our softball coach. He's obviously going to be a great teammate of Coach Bakich. I see a former head coach here that you all may recognize, Coach Leggett. Really, really appreciate you being here. It's really special. Really means a lot. As you can tell from the media turnout, Clemson baseball is a big deal. It's a big deal. The standing room only aspect of this crowd really speaks to that. And for us to have this special day and announce Coach Bakich as our head coach is really, really incredible. Really want to thank you to the Board of Trustees, President Clements, who've been incredibly engaged in this process. We said from the very beginning that we think Clemson baseball is a top 15 job, and their commitment throughout and support of the program now and into the future for Coach Bakich really, really speaks to that. Extreme interest in this position. It really speaks to the special place and special program that Clemson baseball is. During the search process, some of the things we looked for included an established head coach with demonstrated success at a big-time program, the ability to recruit and develop ball players, a coach of integrity that will invest in the Clemson community and who will connect with the proud lineage and tradition of Clemson baseball. We feel like we didn't have to compromise on all that, and it all fell into place with Coach Bakich. We got an absolute superstar with Erik and his wife Jiffy. And to Colt, Bo, and Tempe, welcome to the Clemson family. Clemson baseball got better today, and we're so glad you're here. So with that, I'd like to formally introduce the next leader of Clemson baseball, Coach Erik Bakich.
Wow. Thank you. Man, it's great to be back. I can't believe it's been 20 years since I've gotten to say go Tigers. But thank you, Graham, his wife, Kristen, for this opportunity to lead and serve Clemson baseball. Thank you to President Jim Clements, the Board of Trustees, Kyle Young, Kevin White, for your support in this process. To the University of Michigan Athletic Department, all of our players, past and present, their families, seven decades of alumni that joined our team in Omaha, all the fans, I have the deepest appreciation and gratitude for what we were able to accomplish over the last 10 years. So thank you for an incredible ride. To the coaching mentors that have helped mold and shape the person and the coach that I am today. Coach Keith LeClaire, who I played for at East Carolina, he's the why and the inspiration to start coaching, and a promise that I made to continue his legacy. I don't remember the X's and the O's or the mechanics, but I remember that the confidence and the belief that he instilled. He made his players think they were 10 feet tall and bulletproof. He made his teams think that they could accomplish anything. So Coach Leggett, who's here today, instilled the importance of good fundamentals, instilled foundational life skills like discipline, toughness, competing, having relentless positive energy, and doing it all with a care level that is absolutely unmatched. So thank you for giving me a shot. To Coach Tim Corbin, the value of recruiting excellence, to shifting the target onto developing the total person, the teammate, as well as the future husband and father. That coaching and teaching is a lifestyle, not a job. Very appreciative of the 7 years I had with him at Vanderbilt. My family, my parents, who allowed their son to chase a kid's dream and pursue his passion. Jiffy's parents for, really allowing me to marry their only daughter. But the unwavering support the last 17 years. Our kids, Colt, Bo, Tempe. The most important title I have is Dad, and I'm very thankful to be yours. To Jiffy, my wife, she's the leader of our household. She's the person I admire the most. She's also the model of a servant leader. She constantly puts others ahead of herself. She's a mom of 3, but she's a mom of 40 more. And the team is not the team without Miss Jiffy. So we are looking forward to fully integrating our family into the team and the team into our family. I've always put Clemson up on a pedestal, not only because it's a great academic school and because I got my coaching start here, but I'll be forever grateful to be in the right place at the right time. And I know how lucky I was to join a staff with 3 coaching legends, with Coach Leggett, Coach Corbin, Coach O'Sullivan. I told Coach Corbin when I first got to Clemson 20 years ago that I was going to work the same hours as him. And little did I know at the time what I had just signed myself up for. I was a 24-year-old volunteer assistant coach who got paid in Gatorade bars and T-shirts. I had a $200 a month apartment that had no cable TV, no AC, but every single night I couldn't wait to set the alarm clock and get back into the office. I loved it. I still love it the same 20 years later. There's nothing better than helping individual players in a team unlock their potential and achieving more than they thought was possible. 20 years ago, that historic 2002 team was 54-17, was ranked #1 in the nation for most of the year, finished in the top 4 in the World Series. We had star players like Khalil Green, Jeff Baker, Michael Johnson. We had great team chemistry. We had a ton of confidence. That season, I remember hearing some of the comparisons of some of the all-time great Clemson teams, the all-time great Clemson players, names from the Coach Wilhelm era as well as the Coach Leggett era. Guys on the wall like Rusty Adkins, Bill Spires, Billy McMillan, Chris Benson, Jimmy Key, Matthew LaCroix, Shane Monahan, David Miller, Neil Simons, Brian Barnes, Andy Monin, Doug Kingsmore, Tommy Chapman, and more. Since then, there's been even more like Mike Freeman, Brad Miller, Seth Beer, our current 8 big leaguers, and the recent individual accolades with Coach Lee. Clemson's been playing baseball since 1896, 126 years. We have a lot of teams and a lot of players to be proud of. The one constant that separates Clemson baseball from everybody else is the traditions that have spanned all those decades. The long white pants, the white cleats, the Omaha on the hat, disciplined teams who are fundamentally sound and mentally tough. Our players will learn this history and connect with the traditions of Clemson baseball if they haven't already. We'll have a goal to add as much value as we possibly can to make our page in the history book one that would be bookmarked for all of time. Whether you played for Coach Wilhelm, Coach Leggett, or Coach Lee, you're not just a Clemson baseball player for the 3 or 4 or 5 years you're in college. You're a Clemson baseball player for life. And there's not a better time to connect all generations of Clemson baseball alumni than right now. This program will be built on the 2 pillars of recruiting and player development. Recruiting is a 24/7, 365 focus. We'll target the best players in South Carolina, in the region, on the Eastern Seaboard, and in the nation, and in that order. Development is also a 24/7, 365 focus, and we'll prioritize developing the total person first. One of the things I've learned in the last 10 years is that if you want to have a really good team, you got to have a bunch of really good teammates. So we'll build the person, the student, the teammate right here inside this very room, which will be our classroom. Every day we'll start here to be a designated space for learning. We'll teach how to shift the target off of results and stats and scoreboard to the character traits and the behavioral standards that create championship teams. These standards will illustrate how our daily environment is established, which leads to the identity of our team and our culture as a program. These standards will also allow success to happen and the scoreboard to take care of itself. Success is defined by answering The question whether each player reached his max potential and did the team reach its potential. I can't wait to help our players and teams unlock this potential in their minds and bodies so they can perform at their best. That being said, results matter at this level. There are 5 championships to win every season, 2 in the conference, 3 in the postseason. One of the reasons a student athlete comes to Clemson, besides a great education, is to compete on a national stage for all 5 championships. Another reason to come to Clemson is for the Clemson-South Carolina rivalry. We will take this rivalry very seriously and respect it every single day by how we prepare and train. Regardless of championships or rivalries, we'll narrow our sights down to the number 1. One day, one game, one inning, one pitch, one rep at a time. So we look forward to seeing the Clemson family absolutely pack Doug Kingsmore Stadium. It's one of the best baseball facilities in the nation. Our program will aspire to add as much value to Clemson University and the Clemson Athletic Department as possible. It's inspiring to see how Coach Sweeney and the football program have helped turn the Tiger Paw logo into a globally recognizable brand as they've experienced the pinnacle of college football. It was also great to see Coach Noonan and the soccer team win a national championship last season, as well as seeing Coach Rittman and the softball program's ascension in such a short time. Clemson baseball will have the highest goals and expectations. I'm proud to be a branch of the Jack Leggett coaching tree, and it's a privilege to serve as the baseball coach at Clemson. Thank you again, Graham, for trusting me to lead this program and be a part of this prestigious institution. We're all in. Go Tigers.